Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. Today I was joined by my cousin Jonh Farris to discuss the sixth rule, which is set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. We talked about a whole lot in this episode, including how to break bad habits, how to set healthy goals, how you can actually use comparison to others as a good thing, how to instantly end pretty much any argument, if self-improvement can go too far, and a whole lot more. I've really enjoyed this discussion with Jonh. I have plenty of them off camera with him. As you'd imagine, he's my cousin, so we do talk a lot, and we're neighbors, so we do talk a lot. But that's all. Let's get right into it. I really hope you enjoy and learn something from this episode, because that's why I do it. I want you to learn something. So drop down in the comments something that you learned, and I would highly appreciate that. And thank you for watching in the first place. Welcome back, everyone, to the Off Campus Podcast. Today, I'm joined by my cousin Jonh, as you know from the intro already. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. What are you doing for school right now?
I'm a business major at Merrimack College, my sophomore year, and I'm going to concentrate in management.
Very cool. All right, we're here to talk about the sixth rule of Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life book, which is set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. So my first question to you, Jonh, is what does this rule mean to you? Explain it in your own words.
Basically, to set your house in perfect order, I consider the house as yourself, like your person, who you are, and maybe what you shape your surroundings to be, like who you surround yourself with. And maybe if it's not bad, if it's pretty bad, then you might criticize the world for being bad, even though you're just surrounding yourself with bad stuff and you're bad to yourself. So
That makes a lot of sense. I feel like on that, which actually kind of go hand in hand, is people say that most people aren't actually depressed. And there is some people who have chemical imbalances in their brain, so they're, even if they're living a good life, they're upset. But most people, if they just got their life together, if they got in shape and made some money and had some meaningful relationships in their lives, they wouldn't be depressed, which means they're not actually depressed, sorta. I mean, you know what I mean?
yeah, they're not depressed. They're just lazy. In a sense,
it's like they're sad. It's not depression. Like they're sad because their life is not where they want it to be, but that's because of their own doings. It's because they're not putting in the work to make it better.
Right. I know people, oh, I'm falling behind in this class. I'm out of shape or whatever. I'm so depressed. It's all just going wrong. Well, you're not depressed. You're just not doing anything.
Yeah.
If you do something, you'll be happy. You won't be depressed.
Yeah. If you go out, seek relationships with, it doesn't even have to be like a significant other, but friendships, even just making your relationships with your family better. That stuff's all very important when it comes to your well-being, your happiness. You got to have some sort of drive. So for me, my drive is, I don't know. I really like this podcast. I really like it. I want it to get somewhere. I'm hoping it does. So that's a drive. I'm trying to make myself very good so I can have some authority to talk in this podcast.
The gym.
I want to be in shape. That's also kind of why I go to the gym, because I don't know. I feel like if I'm way out of shape and I'm telling people to be in shape to make their life better, then it's kind of, what's the word?
You can't tell people to do something you won't do yourself.
Hypocritical.
It's very hypocritical.
Very right. And I don't know, my other drives are probably just my future. Like I want a family when I'm older, so that's why I'm working hard now and trying to stay in shape, trying to stay healthy, trying to save my money. P-dubs is getting expensive, but you know,
Oh, definitely.
it's fun. Do you think that you live this rule out in your day-to-day life?
I think I've started to. I definitely don't think about it daily, but I know in the past I'd be like, oh, wow, I was in shape like that. Oh, he's just doing this because he's whatever. Or, oh, they're just better than me or whatever. But basically, I wasn't doing anything for it. So they're not better than me. Well, they might be at the time, but that's my fault because I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of aspects. I don't know. It's not really like a black and white question. Like,
Yeah.
do you live this rule out in your day-to-day life? It's like, yeah, in some parts I do, and not. I mean, not specifically to me, but some people work very hard at their jobs, but then when they get home to their family, they're not great to their family and
Right.
stuff like that. So I don't know. It's not really about. It's not very black and white. You gotta figure out what you're doing well and be happy about that. Figure out what you're really doing well in your life. Try and find some satisfaction in that, and then try to make that translate over to the parts where you're not doing so well in whatever. It doesn't matter. In your work, in your health, that you can control. Some things you can't. In your relationships, and that's pretty much probably the main three things: your relationships, your health, and your work. So, what are some things that people can do to start getting their life in order?
I mean, just getting up. I feel like most people don't get up. They'll just, oh, I have this to do. Don't get up, don't do it. But getting up is the main thing. There's definitely a list of things you could do or that you should do, but getting up is definitely the first one. Because, I mean, discipline, that'll come along the lines. Motivation, maybe you need a little motivation from, I don't know, whatever it is. If it's the gym, maybe some of your friends who go to the gym. And if you want to be in shape, just, hey, can I work out with you one time maybe? And then maybe start building some habits and good habits, not sitting on the couch eating Tostitos.
Yeah, motivation's a weird kind of thing. It's like it's good to get you started, but that's not what's going to keep you going. But it is very good at getting you started. And a good way to I don't know if I would call this motivation, but being around people that are a lot better than you. Yeah, I guess I would call that motivation. Just if you're in a group of people that are very much stronger than you, they look a lot better than you to an extent. Like you don't want to be hanging out with supermodels because that might just make you feel horrible. But if you're not in shape and your friends are fairly in shape, you'd say they're doing well with their health. It's good to stick around those people because then that gives you motivation to do better. I talked about that in the episode with Derek, which was rule 3 or 4? Rule 3. He was saying that, like, talking to me and Jared, I guess me and Jared were kind of mean to him. We were kind of telling him, like, dude, you got to lose some weight. And it was partially joking, but it's like joking, but he knows it's true. So then he did. And that's a good thing. It's very good that he's done that. So what do you think about motivation? Like, do you think it's overrated? Do you think people depend on it too much?
Yeah, definitely. I'm motivated, I'm going to the gym. Well, first of all, that's not motivation. That's discipline. If you go to the gym every day, maybe you were motivated, but now you're disciplined. And I think because motivation is such a brief thing, it's really just the start.
Motivation's the first 3 days of going to the gym.
At most, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're motivated by your friends who are in shape and a lot stronger than you, that's not good motivation to have. Maybe at first, but what if they stop working out? Then you're done. You have no motivation left because they stop, so you're going to stop. What if, you can't rely on someone else to have your motivation. You need to be doing it for yourself.
That's true. And I think it's weird. Like, motivation is, if you think about it, it is extracted from other things. Like, there's no thing. I don't know, like motivation, people's motivations. What are their main motivations? Others, comparison to others, maybe their relationships, and then I guess your future that's a good motivation, but that's not really. I don't know if I'd call that motivation. It's more like that's discipline. That's the discipline. But if your motivation is tied to someone else, that can just go away in a second. You never know. But the discipline is what it's going to take you to go to the gym when you don't want to go, or when your friends aren't going and you know that you should. I don't know. It's like motivations. People just think it's very important, and I think it's good. It's not a bad thing, but that's not what's going to keep you going to the gym and keep you in shape. And not even just with that, but just getting up every day. Like you said, the hardest part is getting up every day. I don't know where I heard this quote, but someone said the hardest part about writing a book is not writing the book. The hardest part is sitting down to write. So once you get started, it's usually easy to get going, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think comparing with others, like you said, that's also really bad. Not using them for motivation, but also comparing yourself to them. Because I heard this quote, I think it was on Instagram, of some dude who was shoulder pressing 75-pound dumbbells, and his girlfriend was behind him. He's like, "Oh, that's really good." He's like, "No, it's not. People do way more." She said, "Comparison is the thief of joy," which it really is.
Yeah, I think I feel like that was a U.S. president that said that comparison is the thief of joy. A very old, from very long ago.
I'm not sure. I'm not that old.
I heard that from Chris Williamson has said that in the past, and I'm pretty sure he attributed that quote to someone in old American culture. But one of the things that Jordan Peterson talks about in this rule is, I forget the guy's name, of course, but it was a guy who fought against the Nazis. He was in the Russian army. He fought against the Nazis, and then he got oppressed after that by Joseph Stalin in the Russian gulags. So he had the negative things in his life. He could easily blame that on Hitler and Stalin. Those were the people that made his life bad. If anyone is going to make your life bad, those are the two that are going to do it. But he didn't really let that affect him. He was in a bad situation. He was in the gulags, but he thought, well, what did I contribute to in getting in this position? What could I have done differently where I would not have been in this position? Do you think that's a healthy mindset? Do you think that's just someone trying to cope with what's happened to them? What do you think about that?
And put in his position, if he's like, this is bad, I shouldn't be doing this, this is really wrong, then it's definitely someone with a good mindset of, where did I go wrong? What could I have done differently to not be a part of this, or maybe prevent this of some severity? Maybe. But, like, it's really just, I don't know. It could be coping a little bit, too, but that's what you think of the situation, really.
Yeah. I could see it being a little bit of coping, but I think overall, I think it's probably a healthy view, because there's a lot of stuff, like, life is tough. That's literally the mantra, is life is suffering. It's well known. Everyone knows it. No one gets their life with no suffering. And a lot of the suffering that you incur in life is not even caused by you. I'd say most of it is, but some of it is caused by other people. So, like, what are you supposed to do when other people make your life bad? Are you supposed to just curl up in a ball and complain? Are you supposed to criticize the world because they made your life horrible? Or are you going to do what you can to make it better and do your best to not let it happen in the future?
I mean, I definitely think you should not necessarily criticize your situation, but you could criticize yourself. Like, is this the right thing to do? Do I even have to do this? Am I a part of this now? Like, can I get out of it? Because if you think you're stuck in it, but you're not, you're probably going to still do it, even though you could just say, I'm done. Or like drug addicts, for example, this is bad. I should get help, but they don't. It's on them. It's not on their situation, even if they're surrounded, because they're surrounding themselves with other people who, I don't know, do some sort of drugs. But
Yeah, how do you think people can get over bad habits?
it depends on the habit, but I guess like just average habits that most people would have. Just, I don't know, punish yourself, maybe. Like I don't know, if you don't drink any water in a day, I guess that could be a bad habit. A lot of people don't drink water. Maybe, I don't know, do 5 push-ups as a habit. Maybe if you hate push-ups, what's something you don't like to do. If you do something you shouldn't do, you should punish yourself with something you don't like to do.
And I would say you should also reward yourself with something that you like when you actually do it. So Jordan Peterson talks about this in another rule, where a good way to build a habit is every time that you do something that contributes to that habit. Let me think of an example. Let's say you want to write a book, but you're having a tough time. You don't want to get and sit down, and you don't want to sit down and write because you got so much going through your mind. You have so much you have to do. But realistically, you know that you probably should sit down and write a book. It'll be healthy for you. It'll be healthy for your mind. It'll be good in the future because you're going to have a book written. So you can sit down, set a timer for 15 minutes that you're going to write. And then, I don't know, if you like a coffee, if you like coffees, promise yourself that once you sit down and write for 15 minutes, you're going to allow yourself to get up, get a coffee. And then if you do that, if you sit down, write, get your coffee, next time when you want to write, you can promise yourself another coffee. You could say, hey, I'll write for 30 minutes today, and I'll give myself a coffee after. Your brain's like gonna make a connection there where it wants to write because it knows what's coming. So the punishment is very important too, but the reward is also very important. Do you think?
Well, about that, I think if you're rewarding yourself, I think at some point the end goal you could say is don't reward yourself. The reward is if you want to write a book and you write, who cares if you drank coffee? You wrote the book. That's the reward.
That is true.
Coffees are just little.
Yeah, the reward.
That got you there.
I feel like you're right. The reward is the book written. At some point, you're going to be so used to sitting down and writing that it's going to build the habit where you don't need the coffee anymore to write down, to sit and write. All you need is the strength to just sit down and start, and then you can go however long you want. And you don't need the coffee after. You just know that this is a habit now. This is what I do on Thursdays at 6 p.m. or something. I don't know.
But like about that, if you do reward yourself with coffees, that could become a habit. So you have to make sure you're rewarding yourself with something good.
Right.
Because you don't want to build a bad habit trying to reward yourself for doing something good.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to build a healthy habit, and your reward to yourself is like a cigarette. It's like
going to going to the gym. You're like, I just went to the gym. You know what? I deserve a milkshake.
Yeah.
No, you probably shouldn't.
Or like it's like I just went to the gym. I'm gonna go to the gym, but after that, I'm gonna reward myself with a cigarette. It's like
Exactly.
It's like, okay, well, cool. You're going to the gym now, but now you're also smoking cigarettes. So
I think that's where a lot of people mix it. They're like, well, I smoke cigarettes, but I run, so it's like
it cancels it out.
It's fine. It's like, well, no, it doesn't. It's not. It's fine. It's still bad habits.
Yeah, I feel like with that, it's like, say you do a lot of cardio. Like cardio, obviously helps your cardiovascular system. I struggle with doing cardio.
I do too.
The hardest part for me is just going and doing it and starting. Once I'm starting, it's not that bad.
I mean, we could blame hey, we were just born this way. We don't have good cardiovascular systems, but I mean, that's not our genetics' fault. Maybe we didn't do cardio. Maybe I sat on the couch and ate Tostitos too many times.
Yeah, this is getting a little personal. I think you're talking from real experience
I
here.
don't like Tostitos.
Anyway, it's like, yeah, who cares about your genetics? If your cardio sucks, go and do some cardio. It's gonna get better.
Right.
Same with lifting. People say that people use that a lot with lifting. I just don't have good genetics. My shoulders are bad.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, if you worked out your shoulders, they wouldn't be bad. They would feel probably fine, a lot better than what they do now.
I mean, you can be like, oh, I have a bad rotator cuff, but if you're not doing anything to fix it, you can say that, but I mean, I kind of have shoulder problems. You had shoulder problems. We did stuff to fix it, and they mostly don't hurt now.
Yeah.
They're definitely better than they were.
Yeah, you just gotta, I don't know, just work them. Don't push them. If they're actually hurt, you don't push them. If you're just weak, that's why you should push them, because you don't want to be weak anymore.
Right. That's like if you want to criticize your show, like no, they're not good, but what did you do to make them good? If you didn't do anything to make them good, then obviously it's not going to be good, whatever it is, no matter like your book. If you didn't write good pages, if you just scribbled some stuff down, it's not going to be good. If you don't lift heavy, you're not going to get strong and probably build big muscles.
Right, you do have to push yourself with everything. It's like comfortability is okay, that took me a second.
You want to redo that?
No, comfortability is probably like the worst thing for our generation, or not even just for our generation, for like everyone on the earth right now, especially in America. Like that's what's ruining people, is because they're too comfortable. They don't step into uncomfortable situations. And I've noticed every time that I've come out very, I don't know, sometimes surprised with myself that I did okay. Sometimes like, oh, wow, I got something to work on. And sometimes I'm just like, that was crazy. I can't believe people can do that. Like a good example is with jiu-jitsu. Like I didn't go for too long, but when I went, I'm like, geez, it's crazy how good these people are. And I thought I would be okay because I have good genetics for that kind of stuff. But yeah, people are nuts.
When I started taking cold showers, and I took a couple, I was like this is terrible. And people take ice baths, which are like, they did bring it down to 34 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
My shower doesn't get that cold. I don't like people sitting there, and respect to them, because that doing stuff like that, that's not comfortable for, I don't care who you are, anyone.
Yeah, forget the whole health benefits from cold baths and cold showers.
Just
like
cold in general.
Cutting
cold.
It burns the most calories, by the way. A cold plunge burns the most calories. That's like the thing you can do. A good life hack if you're trying to lose weight.
If you do it before you work out, you get in cold water, and then you do nice, not super hard cardiovascular workout, but nice one is what I've found actually works the best for me, but could be different for everyone else.
Yeah, but there's plenty of cold baths, cold showers are probably one of the best things you can do for yourself, health wise, and like in your mind wise, and for your character. Because, dude, forcing yourself to do that, you can just get out. You're in the cold shower, and you can just and turn it up, and it's gonna feel so good. But that's not, in the long run, that's not good for you. I mean, it's good. It's fine. Showers are good, but
yes, please.
It's not going to be as good for you as a cold shower will. And just putting yourself in that circumstance where you're uncomfortable, like me waking up at 6 a.m. or 5:30 in the morning, going to jiu-jitsu and getting killed every day, and you with cold showers and just everything. I mean, that's why I think lifting is really good too, is because you just force yourself to be uncomfortable. Like, it's not fun. Some people think it's fun. It's not fun. The gym's fun some days.
Most of the days I don't want to go, but I know I should.
Yeah. And those are the best days. Those are always the days where you're most proud of yourself for doing that.
Not during. Never during.
Not during.
During is always the hardest. Like, going is the hardest part. During is
Second hardest.
Not fun at all.
Yeah. It's not fun. But after, you're so proud of yourself. And it proves to yourself that you're the kind of person that goes to the gym, even when you don't want to, which is good. Like, that's how you build habits. You do stuff, you do it when you don't want to do it. That's how you best build habits, in my opinion. I don't know. It's the whole, like, I read Comfort Crisis, which is by Michael Easter. It's a great book, incredible book. So I recommend all you to listen to that or read it. I had to listen because I'm not the best reader. But all right, we're gonna reel it a little bit back in here.
I can talk about the reward thing a little bit. Like, say you want to take cold showers, or you don't want to, and you start doing it. You do it, and then you work out. You feel great. Maybe take a warm shower after. You don't have to take all cold showers. You can take a warm, and it's a nice reward. You're like, I took a cold shower. It was good for me. I worked out. It was good for me. I'm going to take a warm shower. It's not bad for you. So it's a good reward to have. It's no negative side effects to taking a shower with reasonable temperatured water.
Exactly. That's a good point. Yeah. Your rewards need to be neutral or positive things for you.
Simple.
And simple. Yeah. You don't want to, I don't know. You sit down for, like my example earlier, you sit down and write for 15 minutes. It's like, oh yeah, now I'm going to throw myself a birthday party. It's like, no,
right.
Just something chill
like
that you can do by yourself quickly, maybe fit it into your normal routine, like showers. And that's a good way. And that actually reminds me of another thing. Like, I think I've said this in past podcasts, but it's like your hobbies. Your hobbies need to be positive things. You should be
right.
creating or contributing, not taking or consuming. I just came up with that myself, by the way.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. That was crazy.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, I mean, that's what your hobbies should be a positive thing. It's like going to the bar and drinking is not. It's consuming. That's just consuming. That's not a hobby.
Your dad fishes. Like, your dad has good hobbies. I feel like I tend to have good hobbies.
Yeah.
I take a lot of hobbies from your dad.
What are your main hobbies, would you say?
You could consider skiing a hobby. I don't if you want to. I mean, obviously it can be expensive, but I ski in the winter. Fish in summer. Play chess. Could be a hobby.
Yeah.
Play some chess.
That is what you do.
I
Yeah.
did that with my dad and Frank.
Yep.
The legend.
Shout out Frank. Frank's going to be on the podcast soon, guys. He is a very interesting being. He's probably seeing this right now.
He's a legend.
Say something to Frank right now.
Frank,
what do you have to say? That one.
I love you.
Yeah.
I hope to see you soon.
Anyhow. Yeah, I don't know. This is my hobby right now, I think. This podcast. Yes. It takes a lot of time doing all this stuff. I don't want to talk about that because it sounds like I'm looking for pity. I'm not. But it does take a lot of time. But yeah, chess. I don't know. It's hard to it's not like you're creating something, but it's strengthening your mind. So it's a positive thing. Skiing, yes, it can cost money, but
it's not negative.
It's positive outside. As in like you're working yourself. I don't know. It's like when people say their hobbies are sitting and watching TV, it's like that doesn't really seem like a hobby to me.
I mean, everyone does that, so everyone has the hobby. Not really.
Right. Yeah, you want it to be something positive. I wrote this down. If people got their house in perfect order, they would not be resentful towards the world that they are hypothetically criticizing. So, I don't know. The whole concept behind it is set your life in order. Basically, get your life in order before you are mad at your circumstances, at the world, at whatever's going on, society, Because I think, like we said before, most people, if they got their life together, if they got their relationships good, if they got in shape, if they got some money, then I feel like they wouldn't be mad at the world. Like they'd be fine with society because they notice that the problem isn't necessarily in society and it's more just individual problems.
Yeah, I mean, problems are not a society thing. People don't really, for the most part, cause other people's problems. Usually it's something within. Like, most people will blame other people for probably 90 to 95% of the things that they don't like about themselves. Oh, I'm this way because my parents are this way.
Mm.
That's a very common thing to say for people to do.
Right. People say that, dude, people always say that. Yeah, like, oh, this is very dark, but people say like, oh yeah, I abused my wife because I guess a better one is like, I'm an angry person because my dad was an angry person. It's like, that's no excuse. You're choosing to be an angry person. Yeah, you might be more susceptible to it, just like you might be more susceptible to alcoholism. But if you never drink alcohol, you're not going to be an alcoholic. If you try your best to act slowly and speak slowly, you're not going to be an angry person. Like it's all on you.
It goes back to like the second or third question to what can you do to avoid criticizing other people before yourself, which are you an angry person? Like if you are and you know you are, get help. Then maybe you can become less angry. Maybe you still be angry, but not as much, which is
An improvement.
always
That's all that matters, right? The improvement.
positive improvement is what people need to start doing.
Yeah, it needs to be more like step by step. People, I guess we'll move right on to this one because I always wonder about this because I am very much into the self-help, or not really self-help, but like self-improvement type stuff. Like I always mention Chris Williamson, Jordan Peterson, Andrew Huberman, just all these people end with like A-N in their names or O-N. Jordan Peterson, Huberman, Williamson. Anyway, all this like self-improvement stuff, I feel like it's a lot. Like these are people who are ultra successful, ultra famous. They have a huge following. They are very rich. They have a great family most of the time. And they have really nothing to be sad about. Like they are in shape. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe Rogan, all these people. And I think a lot of people who are into this self-improvement stuff like I am, and I know a lot of people are into this stuff, and they might just push themselves too much, or not even push themselves, but just set too high of expectations where it's not even a positive thing. It's like you think that you have to, you see that your life isn't where you want it to be, and there's so much that you have to do to make it where you want it to be. So a lot of people, that just kind of cripples them into like a position where they're like, wow, I have so much to do. What do I do then? So on that, what do you think would be like the first steps for people if they're all like, if they're comparing themselves to these people like Jordan Peterson and Chris Williamson and stuff with great lives?
I mean, people, like, if it's our age, people will compare themselves to someone who has this great family and is ultra rich. Well, did you ever think they started where you were and they had to work up to that? You're not just going to get a girlfriend, a great job, in great shape all next week. You're not just going to get this. You have to, if I get a girlfriend or if I start going to the gym, maybe something good will come out of it. Maybe the gym can get me a girlfriend, which is, hey, that'd be pretty cool maybe.
It happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, it does.
That's what draws people in. I think I think the average BMI of males in America, adult males in America, is like 26% or something like that. So even just like getting barely in shape just automatically makes you above average in that department. Obviously, there's other things like, I don't know, your charisma and if you're funny, just the stuff that like draws women in. But definitely getting in shape is one of them. And even if you don't get a girlfriend by going to the gym, you get a lot more from it than just that.
You definitely shouldn't expect to get a girlfriend for going to the gym. If that's the reason you're going to the gym, you got to change what you think is your motivation. Because
Yeah.
it's not going to happen. It's not how that works.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't happen for most people. We talked about when other people kind of ruin our lives, apparently. When other people cause us suffering, because people do. I'd say 90% of our issues are caused by ourselves. But let's say for that 10%, let's say I harmed you. I physically hurt you. And it's 3 weeks later and you're fine. But you're still like upset and resentful and you're mad at me. And what do you think is the best thing for you to do in that situation?
Well, you got to think about it. Did I do something for him to be mad to hit me? Did I hit him first? Or did he, if it's out of the blue, maybe, hey, why did you hit me? That would be a good start. Just starting to
Just asking,
start
yeah.
a conversation. That's usually a good way to find answers. But I mean, if you want to think back on it first, maybe settle down if you're angry, because going into a conversation angry is always a bad thing to do. It never turns out good for mostly anyone, especially relationships of any kind, family, friends, girlfriends,
Yeah.
all of that sort. But I don't know, just think back and talk to the person. I mean, obviously, if you're probably going to know them, or else
Why?
you're wasting your time thinking about some random person on the street that you're probably never going to see again.
What if I don't want to talk to you? Let's say I did something really bad and it really hurt you, like mentally, not physically, but like emotionally, it really hurt you. And like, what should you do in that situation in your own life? Not if I'm inaccessible and you don't, and I'm just out of the picture. Like, what do you think people should do in their own lives?
I mean, you can't stop everything just because one thing happens. Because I feel like a lot of people, oh, this person, I'm not talking to this person anymore, and I'm really sad about it. I'm not going to do anything. You still got to live your life. You still got to do stuff. I mean, maybe eventually you can talk to that person again, or I could talk to you, I guess, again. But, I mean, time usually helps with that stuff, especially, well, I don't know what the circumstance is. I mean, it could be anything that you guys are going through, but just keep living your life. I mean, don't let it affect you too much, but don't let it consume you, because that could be pretty bad for your mental health, physical health. You just want to just keep moving forward.
Yeah, you being upset about that is like handing me the power. Actually, such a good quote that I heard. Such a good quote. Being angry at someone is like drinking poison and expecting it to kill them. Isn't that so true?
Yeah, that's
so true.
I mean, I don't really hold grudges. Obviously, for like a relationship like ours, for something to happen, I couldn't even imagine what it would be.
We've definitely
for us
gotten
to not talk and just not talk anymore. But I mean, we may have, but we were like children. We were like 14, 15. Everyone's grudges, but now like I couldn't even think of anything.
I know. Well, it's because at that age you kind of think that everything's like the end of the world.
Right.
It's like
everything's overdramatic.
Yeah, it's just that stuff just doesn't matter. It's crazy. I've noticed that the stuff that I cared about in high school, I don't care anymore. Like what everyone in high school thought of me, to a point. Like you want people to, if everyone hates you, most likely you're the problem.
I never even care. Like Matches Ogus, you had on your podcast, wore his sleeve, rolled his sleeves up to here, his long sleeve, button-down shirt. I did the same thing when I was a senior. I was like, I don't care. I know all you. I don't care. You guys already have your stupid or cool, whatever your opinion is of me. You built it 4 years ago.
It's true.
You're not going to make any effort to change it. If you don't like me, you're just going to say, oh, I don't like him. I'm not going to talk to him. Well, then I'm not going to be bothered by that. I'm going to do what I want. If I want to roll my sleeves up, I'm going to roll my sleeves up. If you want to judge, I don't care.
And I think the only people that you really see after high school that were in your high school are the people that you want to see.
Exactly.
Like just matches Otis and you and, well, I guess I would see you anyway, but
Yeah, you have to see me.
yeah, but everyone, like Derek, Brian, all my friends, like, I mean, if I didn't want to see them, I wouldn't have to. So if they didn't have positive thoughts about me, if we weren't friends, why would I care what they think? As long as I know that I'm doing the right thing. If I'm going around like, I don't know, being mean to everyone and everyone hates me, yeah, that's probably on me. That's on me. But if I haven't done anything to upset anyone purposefully, and if I've been fairly neutral around most people, and some people just don't like me, not everyone's gonna like you. It doesn't matter who you are. The most nice, some people hate Mr. Beast. Like,
yeah,
think about that. A lot of people hate Mr. Beast. So that is enough proof where like you can be doing very much a good thing and the right thing. I mean, he's not perfect, but
no one is.
No one is. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, no one's perfect. So people are going to dislike you. But don't let that get to you. You don't care. You shouldn't care. Like, you don't have to see these people. Don't do what most people do, because most people don't live the life that you want.
It's true. But also, on the other hand, if you hate someone, why do you hate them? Did your friend say, oh, I don't like this person because they cut me in line? You're going to not like someone because they cut someone else in line. Big deal. You probably cut someone in line, and someone probably doesn't like you for it. But you got to think about, why do I actually not like this person? Is it worth not holding this grudge for no reason? Maybe it could be really good friends with them. You never know.
Yeah, stuff can like that can hurt. Like being friends with someone for a while and they just do something and you're like, whoa, I didn't know you were like that. And then you're not friends with them, and yeah, it hurts. But like I talked about this with Jared. It's like, why would I dwell on that? Just, I don't have to talk to him anymore. So what's the issue? Just move on with your life. Like I said, you're drinking poisoning and wishing and hoping it kills this guy, like your enemy. It's like you're just hurting yourself. Guaranteed, actually not guaranteed, but most likely the guy who hurt your feelings is not going around upset that he hurt your feelings. You're the only one that's upset about that. So he does not care. There's no reason to be upset about it. Just move on, do what you can to make your own life better, and forget about it. It doesn't help you. It doesn't serve you at all.
Right. I mean, I don't like to say, like, it is what it is, because I think that's just a pointless statement. Everything is what it is, obviously.
That's the definition.
It's a microphone because it is a microphone. You can't say it's something else. I mean, I don't know, but...
Oh, well, it is 2023.
You never know. But yeah, it's just, like, you just got to think about it. It's really, people always say think before you act, when most of the time they don't even think before they act. They just, oh, this happened, I have to be mad, or, oh, let's celebrate. Or, I mean, celebrating is never bad, but negative emotions, definitely think before you act, because you might do something you regret, say something you regret.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes you just get like, it takes over and you're just like, wow, I really said that, and maybe I'm probably never going to talk to my best friend anymore. They're just out of my life because I said something out of emotion.
You got to pick your battles too. You might even be in the right. And if it's not a big deal, like, it's just not worth losing a relationship over or a friendship over. It's just like, okay, I disagree with you. That's fine. Yeah. We're friends. It's not a big deal.
I mean, maybe just stop. Just be like, I don't know, walk away, text them. I'll talk to you later. I'm too mad. I don't want to say anything I regret. Maybe say that and walk away. Just, you got to be able to control your emotions.
If someone said that to me, I would have a lot of respect
I'd be
for
like,
them. A
yeah.
lot of respect.
Be like, okay, let me know when you want to talk about it. We can talk about it. And then
Yeah.
you move on. You don't.
And that calms the other person down too. And you're putting it on yourself, so they don't think that you're like blaming them. You say, "Hey, I don't want to argue right now because I am very mad, and I'm probably going to say something I regret, or something that I don't actually believe, and I don't want that to ruin us." And so that kind of like, you're like putting the responsibility, the whole argument, you're kind of like putting it on yourself, and then now that other person can walk away and be like, "Oh, okay, well maybe that's good for me too. Maybe I should do that too." So it kind of, it's good on both sides. It calms you down, calms them down.
It also could just completely dissolve the situation. They'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I did do something wrong." And maybe they'll just say, "No, you were right. I'm sorry. I just thought about you. You were right."
Mhm.
And then you'll be like, "Oh, well, I guess we don't have to talk about it anymore. Maybe we still can, but it's resolved."
Yeah, it's like a lot of arguments are caused more by the reaction of the action than the actual action. So like someone, I don't know, let's say like Izzy used to like hit me, like just be annoying, like on purpose.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I would be kind of upset about it, and I would like, I don't know, I'd like yell at her, be like, "Stop," and then she'd get mad at me. We just start arguing, and then. I mean, I was very young, and I didn't like know this stuff then. But if I at that point was like, "All right, I'm mad at you right now. We're both mad. Let's just walk away. We'll talk about it later." We'd walk away and we'd be like, "Wait, I wasn't even that mad. Like, I'm not even mad. What?" It's like, I don't even care. Why would I want to argue about this? I don't even care about that. It doesn't help. It's kind of annoying to argue. So a lot of the times, if you just do that, "Hey, I'm mad. Let's talk about this when we're both calm." You walk away and you're like, "Wait, why was I mad? I forget. Oh, let's just move on then. It doesn't matter."
Right. Like if you see people like, "Oh, I fought this person," I'm like, so you couldn't control yourself? Like, you could have just tried to diffuse the situation, but instead you're getting into fights. I don't know. Maybe you're getting arrested because of that. I mean, some people, you can definitely get arrested.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. I mean, people can just, like in Manchester, some dude, I don't even know if he touched him or something, maybe yelled at him. He got shot, killed.
Yeah. Right outside a bar or something.
Because he couldn't just say, "I'm sorry." You could just say, "I'm sorry," walk away. If it's a stranger, never going to see them again. You may be wrong, or they might be in the wrong, but I think it could literally save your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in certain situations. Yeah, especially with strangers. Just say, "I'm sorry, I was wrong." Boom, done. They're going to walk away and be like, "Okay, that's all I wanted." I mean, they might still be mad, maybe. But at that point, that's not on you. Yeah, that's not on you. And you can't control that. Yeah, especially with strangers. There's just dude, just take the responsibility. You don't even have to in your heart, in your mind. You can just be like, "Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know I was wrong. My bad." And then just walk away. You were not going to see them again.
Which a lot of people with egos, they'll be like, "No, I'm not going to lose to this person."
Yeah.
Okay, tell me their name. You don't know their name. Who are you losing to? You can't even tell me who you're losing to.
That's a good rule. If you don't know the person's name, don't argue with them.
A Tom Holland quote. He was on a podcast or an interview. He said, "If you have a problem with me, text me. And if you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me."
Mm-hmm.
Which is so true. Like,
yeah. I couldn't imagine how true that is for celebrities too.
Oh yeah, that definitely. Oh yeah.
That's dude. They'd get if everyone had access to them, they just would never be able to stop talking to people. Reeling it back in a little bit. This actually is kind of what we were talking about before. But do you think? Actually, there's kind of like two questions. Do you think comparison can be used? How did I write this? Do you think comparison with others can be a strong motivation to become better? And do you think that differs when it comes to comparing yourself to friends, to family, to like online personas, celebrities, stuff like that?
Definitely.
Because I think it is different. So I was wondering what you thought of for each of those. Like maybe start with, do you think comparison to friends is healthy and good motivation to become better, and then for celebrities.
Okay. Yeah. I think, well, first, motivation to friends is way better than celebrities. Because friends, like, you might be motivated, oh, John benched 300 pounds. I want to do that. I'm going to do that. Or Joey's in shape. I want to get in better shape. Like, and I can talk to you. Like, it's not like your motivation, like, if you quit, I'm just like, oh, wow, my motivation's gone. And be like, hey, why'd you quit? Oh, you're not feeling well. Oh, you got hurt. Oh, so you're not quitting. You're just taking a break. Oh, okay. So now it makes sense. Your motivation, you know what's going on with your motivation, which it's not really motivation. It's just who you're comparing yourself to. Because
It's like higher than motivation.
yeah, it's not motivation.
I think comparison with friends, it's not really. I don't know. You could call it motivation, but I don't. There's a difference. It's like the motivation. It's like higher. It's motivation, but it's like the drive. It's like the drive.
Yeah.
Why you're doing it.
Right. It's like, oh, I wanted to look like him. He doesn't look like that anymore. Why? But like if it's a celebrity, oh, I mean, I don't know them personally. I can't text them. So clearly I don't know them well enough to be comparing myself to them, especially if they're a celebrity. They're clearly, like if it's the gym, celebrities who are in the gym are probably a lot better at it than I am because they're much older, doing it a lot longer, and it's their job.
Plus genetics, plus luck.
Right.
So, I don't know. Comparison.
Also hard work.
Yeah, I mean, well, of course. They worked hard, but it's just, there's no reason. Like, when you're comparing yourself to celebrities, you're comparing yourself to the top 0.00001%. It's like, that's an unobtainable thing. And most of the time, especially in the gym world, most of the time they're on something, so.
It is obtainable, but, I mean, you got to realize, oh, they've probably been doing this for a long time. They do this for their living. I can't. So you got to realize, like,
Is that yours?
yeah, you can't compare yourself to celebrities like you can with people you know, and it's just not the same. It's just not the same at all.
Yeah, your friends, especially. I think the accountability is such a good part too, because we've been pretty good with staying in the gym, and we don't even go to the gym anymore together. We do sometimes, but
Yeah.
I know that if I stopped, you'd annoy
like,
the heck out of me until I would go back, which is good. That's really good. If I'm not saying my motivation is tied to you forcing me to go, but it's definitely a push. Same with, but it's like all my friends that do it. But if I'm tied to like Alex Eubank, like, oh, I want to look like him, he does not care about me.
No,
he doesn't.
Exactly. He doesn't even know what you look like.
Yeah, he doesn't know my name. He doesn't know what I look like. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad person, but he's probably good motivation and good for pushing his friends to go to the gym, but not some random kid that knows of him. That's not where you're going to find motivation. That's not how you're going to stay consistent with anything. Yes, he might be very good to, if you see him online, be like, oh, I want to look like that. So you start going to the gym. After that, you got to find something else.
You're on your own after that.
Yeah, you got to find something else to, like, why are you doing this? Why are you in the gym? That's what you have to ask yourself. Why are you spending 10 hours a day working is it because other people are? Because some other people are rich? Sam Bankman-Fried, one of the youngest billionaires, was he in his 20s or early 30s or something? But whatever, dude, like, now he's in jail for committing fraud. You know, do you know the whole FTX Sam Bankman-Fried situation? It was a while ago. You might know.
I've heard of it. I don't remember it.
Anyways, like, yeah, say I'm like tying my comparison with my monetary value to him, and I want to become him. First off, unobtainable. I'm not going to be a billionaire. I mean, I'm not saying unobtainable, but very highly likely not going to happen. So already unhealthy goal. Second of all, all his wealth's gone now. So because he made a bad decision, and that can always happen with celebrities. But if you're with your friends, I don't know. You don't even need to walk the talk to help influence your friends to make good decisions. You should, but even if I didn't go to the gym, it would still be a positive thing for you, for me to push you to go to the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. Especially like if you don't have to do it. If you can't do it yourself, you can still help someone else do it.
Yeah.
Some people, I mean, like our dads, they're not going to be benching 300 pounds, but they're like, oh, you guys go to the gym, lift heavy. You can lift some heavy weight.
Mm-hmm. And you can't get that from celebrities. Like, you can only get that from people you're intimate with because they know you. They know that you're 20 years old and you need to get in the gym because you have a lot of potential with the weights you're going to hit. You know, I don't know. There's celebrities that they just can't give you that. But so we've talked a lot about making your life better, how to like put your life together, why you have to put your life together. But I'm starting to think that's a lot. That's a lot on my plate, John. That's a lot for me to do. I think. Why? Why would I put my life together? Like, is that too much? Am I pushing myself too much? Am I just going to be unhappy the rest of my life because I'm never going to meet the expectation that I set on myself?
I think if your expectation is that high, it's a good thing. Because if you meet your expectation, that means you're done. There's no more expectation. You're done. You're where you are at. So that's your goal. What if you hit, I want to make $1 million in 1 year. What if you did that next year? Then you're done.
You need to find a new goal.
You need to have this unreachable goal and then microscopic goals to get there. Maybe 20 goals just to get to that final goal.
That's a good idea, actually. That's a very good idea. Yeah, that's a wonderful idea. That was my goal with benching. Like my end goal for benching is I want to bench 315. But my goal right now is not to bench 315.
You can't bench 315 if you don't bench 225.
Exactly.
250.
Exactly. Yeah. When I was benching well, I guess at the time when I was benching like 135 for 4, I didn't know that I was gonna want to hit 315. But once I knew that, it's like, okay, yeah. Say my max bench is 200 right now. There's no point in looking at my 315 goal because that's overwhelming. That's a high number.
Like,
I can't even do 2 plates. How am I supposed to do 3? That's not the point. You can have that upper goal, but there should be here, 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 and then there. Like, and yeah, you're right. Like that should be 20 goals. 20.
Yeah.
Maybe more, maybe less, but it shouldn't be 2.
Right.
Like
it shouldn't be I want to do this, and then I'm gonna do it. Well, once you do it, you're done. So first of all, you gotta add more. I mean, is this goal that you're setting for yourself? Is that even is it easy? Is it even hard to do? Maybe what if I said I want to bench 225 and you're already benching 185 for a couple reps. You're like, that's your end goal. You could push yourself.
Yeah, it's like I'm almost there already.
You can push yourself so much further than a year worth of progress. I mean, it's just consistency at that point. You don't even need to. Maybe you don't want to hit PRs in the gym. I mean, it's just consistency. That's the goal every day to go to the gym. It could be a good goal. Do something you don't like.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people who don't like going to the gym. I'd say mostly everyone who goes to the gym doesn't want to go. Plus the people who don't go to the gym. Like, no one wants to. But why do so many people do? Because it makes your life a whole lot better. I guess a good question to kind of wrap up on is, what is a good balance between pushing yourself to become great and enjoying the ride there?
I think back to the rewards. I mean, you pushing yourself in the gym, you take cold shower, you do something you don't like, run, maybe lift weights, take a warm shower. Maybe it's work. You want to, oh, I need to work for a long time. I need to do like 10-hour shift. I don't know, maybe get a little snack or something. Like, obviously don't be counterproductive and minimize what you just did. Like, don't work for 10 hours and then spend all that money, because then that was just a waste of time. But, like, I don't know, just find something to enjoy. Like, there's so many things to enjoy. There's just so many things to enjoy.
I agree. I talked about this in the last one. The reward, I don't know, it works for other people and yourself. When you're trying to encourage someone to do something, say if you have a son and you want him to start going to the gym. If he goes to the gym, reward him with some compliments. Dude, you're looking strong. That's good weight. Good job. Like, the reward. But the point is, the reward needs to be small enough where it doesn't make future rewards negligible, but it needs to be big enough where it actually affects the person and is a good enough reward to be incentive to do that healthy thing again. So I don't know, but I don't know. It's just, I guess
reward
it's
should make you happy.
Yeah, it should make you happy, but
some way.
But just not too much where your next reward is going to be like, oh, that's underwhelming.
Yeah.
But I guess the question is like pretty similar to the other one. Like, the people who are into self-improvement, they just might set the bar a little too high. But I told you this before. A lot of people sacrifice their happiness for success. And why do they want success? They want success because they think that's going to bring them happiness. So what you can do is just shortcut through the success and just be happy in the moment. And I think you can be happy in any moment that you're in. There's always something to be thankful for. There's always something to be thankful for. And I don't know. Yeah, life is tough sometimes. But the pursuit of becoming better and becoming a good person, a strong person, a successful person, you should be happy on the way. You should choose to be happy on the way, because I guarantee you, if you have the mindset, once I have X, I'll be happy. Guaranteed, once you have X, you're not going to be happy. You're going to be, oh, that's underwhelming. I really thought this was going to bring me happiness, and now I have it, and I'm not happy. What do I do now?
But once you have X, you gotta go for Y.
Yeah.
Because X should not be the end. It's just so. It also is just so easy to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you go into a business meeting or whatever, you're stuck in traffic with your coworker. You guys are just sitting there honking the horn. It's not doing anything. Why don't you talk to each other? Play some music. You're just sitting there mad when you really shouldn't be, because you didn't think about, I'm really mad at traffic. There's traffic everywhere. So everyone's stuck in the traffic. You can't be mad at the traffic. So maybe just, I don't know, enjoy whatever you're doing. Maybe it's like early morning or sundown and you're just stuck in traffic. Oh, sun looks nice.
It's beautiful.
Like, it's beautiful. Like, look, wow, it's really nice weather. Let's roll the windows down.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to some good music. I don't know.
That's an Andrew Huberman thing. Is you can't change the mind with the mind. You have to change the mind with the body. So if you're upset, actually, very quickly, because we got to wrap up. But people say, like, if you're having an anxiety attack, the best thing to do is like stick your face in a cold bowl of water. And it is something about just like giving your body a shock that's like, it kind of cleanses your brain out. So yeah, if you're frustrated in traffic, turn on some music. You might feel a little better. Look at the sunrise and be like, whoa, that's sick. Can't believe that sun's millions of miles away. Because that is ridiculous if you think about it.
It is. What is it? 90, 93
I
million
have
miles?
no clue.
I think something like that.
Zero clue. It
Really
could be
hope that's
4
right.
miles and I would not know.
Really hope that's right.
But yeah, thank you for coming on. Rule 6 done. We're halfway through the series, guys. Hopefully we'll be done with the series within a month and a half, if that's possible. Maybe 2 months. And then I don't know what I'm going to move on to, but it'll be other things. Did you enjoy this?
I did. I think you should do it within a month and a half. Set a goal for yourself. I'm gonna finish the series within a month.
One
and
a
half.
week. One a week.
And
Okay.
then you'll be happy the series is done.
I will try. Okay. Well, thank you all for watching. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. As always, thank you to John for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for Off Campus Productions for making all these clips, setting up this beautiful studio, aka me. I'm just kidding. I didn't even do that stuff. I make the clips though. But anyways, yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one for Rule 7.